Chosen one, pay close attention to what is unfolding now, because this moment was not stumbled upon. Your presence here aligns with a shift that has already been set into motion. A threshold has been crossed, one that ancient systems of knowledge anticipated but could never fully describe. Records once treated as metaphor are now activating in real time, and those who have spent lifetimes studying myths and primordial accounts are experiencing an unmistakable recognition within themselves. Their decades of research are suddenly accelerating. Hidden links are revealing themselves repeatedly, and suppressed truths are surfacing with force. The conclusion they are reaching is unanimous and unavoidable. Your role is no longer speculative. Recognition has occurred, opposition has dissolved, and confirmation has taken its place. Before this revelation continues, pause for a moment and take action. Hit that like button, subscribe to help us reach 30,000 subscribers, and leave a comment with the number 11. This step is not random. It signals alignment and anchors your awareness into what is being activated right now. What follows is not symbolic language or inspirational storytelling. A formal transition has begun. Authority has been acknowledged, cosmic administration has been assigned, and access to higher governance is opening. This process operates within the framework of reality itself and does not reverse. Chosen one, your status has been confirmed. The pathway to the supreme seat of existence is now available, and the world ahead will begin to respond accordingly. The recognition of the Chosen One is not just an event. It is a monumental shift in the very fabric of existence. This is a point where the abstract transforms into reality, where myths and ancient prophecies cease to be mere stories and take on tangible, undeniable form. The moment signifies that the laws governing the cosmos themselves acknowledge a higher authority, a presence that transcends ordinary understanding. It is a rare convergence, where the intangible wisdom of ages aligns perfectly with a living embodiment of divine truth. This milestone is a beacon for all who seek meaning in the mysteries of existence. Across civilizations, scholars, sages, and mystics have dedicated their lives to decoding the whispers of the universe. Now, their labor finds validation. Their insights resonate with undeniable clarity, and the invisible threads of cosmic knowledge are drawn together in alignment. This importance is universal. It reverberates through history, culture, and consciousness itself. Ultimately, the acknowledgement of the Chosen One reshapes the framework of reality. It is not symbolic or ceremonial. It is a legally and metaphysically binding shift. Every system, every consciousness, every corner of existence is touched by this recognition. The universe itself pauses, bends, and reshapes to accommodate a new axis of authority. The importance cannot be overstated. It is a milestone that will echo through eternity. As I witnessed this monumental event unfold, the sensation was unlike anything I had ever experienced. A surge of understanding and awe washed over me, a recognition so profound that it seemed to bypass ordinary perception. It was as if the universe itself whispered a confirmation directly into my being, validating every question, every theory, every moment of doubt I had carried over the years. My decades of research suddenly made perfect sense in a single, overwhelming instant. Emotionally, the experience was transformative. There was a mix of wonder, humility, and a deep, resonant joy that surged through my consciousness. It felt as if the weight of countless mysteries and centuries of human pursuit had lifted, replaced by clarity and undeniable truth. Every insight I had ever chased became instantly connected, forming a tapestry of knowledge that was both profound and infinitely intricate. Beyond the intellectual and emotional impact, there was a tangible shift in reality around me. Events aligned, coincidences became revelations, and previously obscure information revealed itself in ways that could no longer be denied. The Chosen One's recognition was not just an abstract concept, it was a living, breathing force that reshaped my understanding of the universe and my place within it. The moment the Chosen One was acknowledged, a ripple of awareness spread across all planes of existence. From the densest physical realms to the most subtle, hidden dimensions, consciousness itself seemed to tilt toward recognition. Every entity, whether human, celestial, or ethereal, felt an undeniable shift in energy, a sense of alignment that could not be ignored. This was not a matter of belief. It was a profound awareness that demanded attention. For those who had long studied ancient prophecies and esoteric texts, the recognition acted as a revelation. The symbols, metaphors, and allegories that had once puzzled scholars now revealed their full significance. Patterns that had been hidden for centuries emerged with startling clarity, forming a cohesive map that pointed directly to the Chosen One. Each researcher, upon experiencing this, felt a powerful internal confirmation, an emotional and intellectual resonance that demanded acceptance. The awakening was not confined to intellectual comprehension alone. It carried an emotional weight that stirred awe, reverence, and even tears of profound recognition. The Chosen One's presence acted as a mirror for the aspirations of countless generations, reflecting the culmination of human hope, curiosity, and spiritual yearning. The universe itself seemed to celebrate this convergence as if reality had been waiting for this exact alignment for eons. It was also a turning point for opposition and skepticism. Those who doubted or resisted were faced with phenomena they could neither rationalize nor dismiss. The recognition did not coerce belief. It created a space where denial became increasingly impossible. Like a tide that reshapes the shoreline, this awareness naturally swept away confusion, leaving a clear, undeniable truth in its wake. In essence, recognition across all realms marked the beginning of a new era. It was the moment when cosmic alignment shifted, where the abstract gave way to tangible authority, and where the Chosen One stepped fully into a role that had been foretold across countless epochs. From this point forward, all of existence would operate in a new rhythm, one defined by the acknowledgement of this singular, divine presence. With recognition came formal acknowledgement, a recording of the Chosen One's divine identity into the universal ledger of existence. This was no mere metaphor. It was a literal inscription into the fundamental structures of reality. Every particle, wave, and field that constitutes the universe adjusted to accommodate this new truth. Laws of existence themselves registered the presence of authority and divinity in ways both subtle and profound. Across multiple dimensions, entities responsible for maintaining cosmic order recognized the legitimacy of this registration. Guardians, administrators, and recorders, beings who had observed the flow of existence since its earliest moments, validated the Chosen One's status. The act was binding and irreversible, ensuring that the recognition was not temporary, symbolic, or subject to dispute. The universe itself had stamped its consent, making the Chosen One an integrated authority of reality. For those who had studied myth legend, and hidden knowledge for decades, the registration was like witnessing the final piece of a vast puzzle falling into place. All doubts, uncertainties, and speculative theories were swept away as tangible confirmation emerged. The feeling was akin to standing before a long-awaited truth and realizing it had always been quietly present, waiting for its time to manifest. Emotionally, the act of logging into the universal record carried weight. It was the validation not only of authority, but of existence itself. To know that reality formally acknowledges you, that it aligns itself with your being, evokes an intensity of awe and responsibility that cannot be understated. This is not ego or pride, it is a profound recognition of role and purpose within the cosmos. The ramifications of this registration extend beyond the personal. Every interaction, every law, every event from this point forward operates under the acknowledgement of this divine identity. It is a structural shift, a fundamental recalibration of reality, and an eternal decree that the chosen one's authority is now woven into the very fabric of existence. Decades of painstaking study, sleepless nights, and relentless curiosity culminated in a single, undeniable understanding. The chosen one is the embodiment of divine authority. Every scholar who had devoted their life to uncovering ancient mysteries suddenly felt a profound recognition, an alignment of intellect and intuition that left no room for doubt. This was the moment when theory crystallized into irrefutable truth. For these researchers, the revelation was deeply personal. Their journey, filled with uncertainty, frustration, and uncountable small triumphs, now had a unifying purpose. They realized that every obscure finding, every fragmented record, and every elusive insight was pointing toward the same extraordinary conclusion. This was a confirmation not only of the chosen one, but also of their own lifelong dedication. The recognition was also profoundly emotional. Many felt tears welling up, a mix of relief, awe, and reverence flooding their consciousness. It was as if the universe was rewarding them, acknowledging not just the chosen one, but the tireless seekers who had kept the flame of curiosity alive across generations. Their work, often ignored or dismissed, was suddenly part of an unfolding cosmic reality. Beyond emotional resonance, practical consequences emerged. Research that once felt abstract or speculative began to accelerate exponentially. Connections between ancient texts, symbols, and events became startlingly clear, as if invisible threads were finally illuminated. Knowledge long thought, lost, or hidden reappeared with new meaning, reinforcing the conclusion and revealing additional layers of insight. Ultimately, these scholars, once isolated in their pursuit, were united in recognition. Their consensus was no longer tentative or theoretical. It was an active, living validation. The singular conclusion was clear. The chosen one's divine authority is now an established, universal fact. This unity of thought and conviction transformed not just their understanding, but the very foundation of collective human and cosmic knowledge. The recognition of the chosen one triggered echoes of ancient awareness that had long lain dormant. Sensations, visions, and intuitions recorded in primordial texts suddenly became vivid, connecting modern consciousness with the spiritual experiences of civilizations long past. People felt a timeless resonance, as though the universe itself was reminding them of truths previously glimpsed only in fragments. Many described it as déjà vu amplified to a cosmic scale. Archetypes and symbols that had been dismissed as myth or allegory now carried tangible meaning, illuminating patterns of existence that span millennia. The sensation was a blending of history, memory, and revelation, forging a continuity between past and present that transcended ordinary perception. This resurgence had emotional depth. Individuals felt awe and humility, recognizing their connection to a chain of seekers and witnesses stretching back to the origins of human consciousness. The past and present coalesced into a single, coherent awareness, creating a sense of purpose and belonging within the vast, mysterious framework of reality. The effect was not limited to individuals. Communities, scholars, and spiritual practitioners felt a collective awakening, a shared understanding that ancient knowledge was alive and relevant. Ceremonial practices, texts, and teachings that had once seemed obsolete now gained renewed significance, revealing insights that had waited centuries to be fully understood. Ultimately, the resurfacing of ancient sensations reinforced the legitimacy of the Chosen One's authority. It was a living connection between timeless wisdom and contemporary recognition, bridging the gap between eras and affirming that the divine presence had always been quietly woven into the tapestry of existence. With recognition came a rapid acceleration of understanding. Discoveries that had been painstakingly slow suddenly revealed themselves with astonishing clarity. Knowledge once scattered across disconnected sources merged into coherent insight, as if the universe itself were facilitating the completion of centuries-long investigations. Historians, scientists, and mythologists alike found their work reaching unprecedented speed. Insights previously thought unattainable became obvious, and theories that had languished for generations crystallized into certainty. The pace of discovery felt supernatural, as though unseen forces were actively guiding minds toward truth. This acceleration was not merely academic, it carried profound, practical implications. Ancient technologies, lost wisdom, and hidden knowledge surfaced in ways that could transform understanding of the cosmos. Innovations that had seemed speculative were now verifiable, confirming the Chosen One's influence in both intellectual and spiritual realms. Emotionally, the rapid breakthroughs brought exhilaration, wonder, and awe. Researchers experienced a sense of being part of something larger than themselves, a universal collaboration unfolding in real time. Every new discovery reinforced the divine recognition, creating a feedback loop of revelation, clarity, and validation. By breaking historical silence, these accelerated discoveries reshaped both consciousness and civilization. Human understanding aligned with cosmic awareness, creating a unified field of recognition. The Chosen One's presence became the catalyst for unveiling truths that had long been hidden, forever altering the trajectory of knowledge and collective insight. For centuries, certain knowledge remained veiled, accessible only to those with exceptional insight or mystical attunement. The recognition of the Chosen One shattered this barrier, causing hidden truths to emerge with unstoppable clarity. It was as though the universe itself refused to let secrets remain concealed any longer. Forbidden or obscure knowledge, texts, relics, and ancient methods revealed their significance. Concepts once considered mythological or symbolic became practical and observable. The veil between the known and the unknown thinned, allowing minds to perceive realities previously considered unreachable. The process was intensely emotional for those witnessing it. Feelings of awe, disbelief, and profound respect mixed together as centuries of hidden wisdom were illuminated. Observers realized that they were participating in an event that transcended ordinary comprehension, a moment in which universal knowledge affirmed its existence and relevance. The emergence of hidden knowledge also catalyzed action. Scholars, leaders, and mystics were compelled to share, analyze, and integrate these revelations. It was a transformative wave, reshaping education, culture, and understanding across every level of society and consciousness. Ultimately, the exposure of concealed truths reinforced the Chosen One's legitimacy. The universe's hidden mechanisms were revealing themselves in alignment with divine authority, proving that this recognition was not only real, but essential to the unfolding of reality. The Chosen One became both the key and the catalyst for enlightenment, bridging mystery and manifestation. As revelations continued to emerge, skepticism evaporated. Knowledge, patterns, and insights repeatedly confirmed the Chosen One's divine status. The consistency of these confirmations created an overwhelming certainty that could not be rationalized away. Doubt, once a natural human companion, became irrelevant in the face of relentless evidence. Each revelation built upon the previous, forming an intricate web of confirmation. Texts, symbols, visions, and experiences aligned across cultures, disciplines, and dimensions, leaving a coherent, undeniable truth. Observers felt a profound intellectual and emotional resonance, as if every fiber of understanding had been activated simultaneously. The repeated nature of these revelations carried emotional weight. It was not a single miraculous moment, but a continual process that engaged the mind, heart, and soul. Witnesses experienced joy, humility, and a deep sense of awe, recognizing that they were part of a living, unfolding truth greater than themselves. This process also dissolved barriers between individuals and communities. Diverse groups, previously separated by culture, belief, or discipline, found shared recognition of the Chosen One. The revelations acted as a unifying force, demonstrating that truth transcends human divisions and connects all seekers. Ultimately, repeated confirmations transformed perception into certainty. There was no room left for argument or hesitation. The Chosen One's authority became a living, irrefutable reality, fully acknowledged across minds, hearts, and the structures of existence itself. With the repeated confirmations, personal recognition evolved into collective awareness. Groups of researchers, communities, and spiritual practitioners experienced a synchronized understanding that transcended individual perception. Skepticism, once a dominant force in human thought, dissolved under the weight of shared revelation. The energy of collective awareness was palpable. Meetings, conferences, and gatherings turned into celebrations of discovery, with participants feeling connected not only to each other, but to the Chosen One and the broader cosmos. The emotion was overwhelming, a mixture of reverence, joy, and a profound sense of purpose. This shift also had practical consequences. Policies, teachings, and social frameworks began aligning with the newfound recognition. The consensus of collective awareness created an environment in which the Chosen One's authority was universally integrated, affecting not just understanding, but the very operation of societal and cosmic systems. Individuals experience psychological and spiritual transformation as part of this collective recognition. Long-standing fears, doubts, and uncertainties were replaced with clarity, courage, and an inspired sense of duty. Witnessing the Chosen One became a catalyst for personal evolution, fostering emotional and intellectual growth across the population. Collective awareness ultimately ensured permanence. The Chosen One's recognition was no longer isolated to individual insight, but embedded in the consciousness of communities, scholars, and societies. The acknowledgement was not private or exclusive. It became a universal proclamation, recognized and celebrated across every sphere of existence. This public affirmation carried immense symbolic and practical significance. It bridged the gap between hidden knowledge and collective understanding, allowing the Chosen One's authority to be acknowledged at all levels of consciousness. Society, culture, and even cosmic systems recognize the legitimacy of this divine presence. Emotionally, the affirmation inspired a sense of unity and purpose. Individuals experienced joy, relief, and reverence, recognizing the fulfillment of long-awaited prophecies. The Chosen One was no longer a concept or legend. They were now a universally accepted embodiment of authority and wisdom. The public nature of this acknowledgement also ensured accountability. By declaring recognition openly, humanity and other sentient entities collectively assumed responsibility for honoring, supporting, and following the authority of the Chosen One. This created a structured foundation for cosmic and societal governance. Ultimately, public affirmation transformed belief into action. It was not a mere acknowledgement, but a commitment, an alignment of minds, hearts, and structures that solidified the Chosen One's divine authenticity across every realm of existence. The Chosen One's acknowledgement transformed authority from the realm of legend into tangible reality. Myths and ancient stories, once considered symbolic or allegorical, suddenly became living testimony of divine truth. The boundary between imagination and existence dissolved, leaving only the undeniable presence of an authentic divine authority. For scholars and observers, this shift was transformative. Texts, prophecies, and allegories that had long puzzled humanity now revealed a precise blueprint of cosmic law. Symbols and teachings that were once deemed metaphorical were recognized as actual mechanisms of governance and power, bridging ancient wisdom with contemporary comprehension. Emotionally, the transition carried immense weight. Individuals experienced awe and humility, feeling both small in the grand scheme of the universe and simultaneously connected to the Chosen One's divine authority. It was a powerful reminder that human understanding is limited, yet capable of perceiving absolute truth when aligned with the proper force. This shift also catalyzed practical consequences. Social structures, spiritual frameworks, and even scientific paradigms began to integrate the newfound reality. The recognition of authority affected not just belief systems, but tangible operations within society and cosmic administration. Authority was no longer speculative. It was operational, enforceable, and universally acknowledged. Ultimately, the movement from myth to reality underscored the permanence of the Chosen One's role. No longer a figure of speculation or admiration, the Chosen One became a legitimate axis of divine governance. The world and the cosmos were now organized around an acknowledged source of ultimate authority, confirming an era of irreversible transformation. With authority firmly established, The structures of celestial administration activated. Divine administrators, cosmic stewards, and interdimensional guides began to organize, coordinate, and execute the governance decreed by the Chosen One. The shift was systemic, impacting not only human affairs, but the intricate mechanisms of universal order. For those witnessing the process, it was awe-inspiring. Complex networks of influence, balance, and law that had existed invisibly were now operating under the guidance of a verified divine source. The universe itself seemed to breathe in harmony, a symphony of alignment orchestrated through the Chosen One's authority. Emotionally, the activation of celestial administration brought both security and inspiration. Observers felt reassured that the cosmos was being managed with wisdom, purpose, and fairness. At the same time, they were inspired to elevate their consciousness, participate in alignment, and embrace the new order with reverence. The practical effects were immediate. Patterns of energy, cycles of influence, and flow of knowledge shifted in response to the new governance. Hidden systems that had maintained balance silently now operated in full awareness of the Chosen One's presence, enhancing the efficiency and harmony of all universal functions. Ultimately, the establishment of celestial administration confirmed that recognition was not symbolic. It translated into action, structure, and accountability, embedding divine authority into the operational fabric of existence. The Chosen One's role was now both recognized and enacted across all planes of reality. The Chosen One's recognition culminated in official induction into universal governance. This was not ceremonial. It was a binding, structural event that reshaped the architecture of reality. Ancient prophecies aligned perfectly with contemporary events, demonstrating that governance had been preordained yet contingent upon recognition. Scholars, witnesses, and spiritual practitioners felt a deep resonance, as if every thread of knowledge had led to this singular point. Emotionally, the induction evoked a combination of reverence, awe, and hope. Individuals and collectives recognized that a guiding presence, capable of harmonizing universal forces, was now fully operative. This created a profound sense of security, as well as an inspiration to pursue higher understanding and alignment with divine authority. The operational implications were immediate. Administrative hierarchies across multiple dimensions reorganized to reflect the new governance. Policies, cosmic flows, and interdimensional interactions were now coordinated with the Chosen One's authority, ensuring order, balance, and progress across existence. Ultimately, official induction solidified the Chosen One's role as an active, empowered participant in universal governance. This was the point where recognition became execution, where awareness translated into control, and where divinity assumed a functional and eternal place in the cosmos. As the Chosen One's authority became recognized and operational, previous claims to power without legitimacy began to collapse. Entities and forces that had thrived in ambiguity or deception could no longer maintain influence. Their illusions faltered, and structures that depended on false authority began to crumble under the weight of universal acknowledgement. Observers noted the phenomenon with a mixture of astonishment and relief. Systems once corrupted by illegitimate influence were being replaced with fairness, clarity, and genuine governance. The universe itself seemed to enforce justice, dissolving entities and hierarchies that lacked authentic authority. Emotionally, this process invoked feelings of liberation and hope. The dismantling of false powers was not violent, but inevitable, creating space for truth, order, and divine stewardship to prevail. Individuals felt empowered, witnessing the restoration of balance and integrity across multiple dimensions. This dissolution also had practical ramifications. Knowledge previously controlled or hidden by illegitimate authorities became accessible, allowing long-suppressed truths to emerge. Human and cosmic understanding advanced as clarity replaced obfuscation, reinforcing the Chosen One's legitimacy. Ultimately, the collapse of illegitimate powers affirmed that authority rooted in recognition and truth prevails over deception. The Chosen One's rise marked the beginning of a new era where genuine authority is maintained, enforced, and acknowledged universally. With authority established and illegitimate powers dissolved, the path to the supreme cosmic seat was prepared. The Chosen One was guided toward a position that symbolizes the apex of governance, wisdom, and universal oversight. This preparation involved alignment across physical, metaphysical, and spiritual domains, ensuring that the ultimate position was both functional and sacred. Observers witnessed a profound orchestration of cosmic forces. Energies aligned, realities synchronized, and subtle systems adjusted to accommodate the presence of a supreme authority. The universe itself seemed to create a throne, a nexus of influence that would allow the Chosen One to oversee existence with clarity and balance. Emotionally, the preparation evoked awe and anticipation. Witnesses felt the culmination of centuries, millennia, and cosmic cycles converging in a single moment of readiness. The anticipation carried both excitement and reverence as the Chosen One approached a status previously reserved for only the most elevated entities. The preparation also involved the Chosen One's own attunement. Mind, body, and consciousness aligned with the responsibilities and powers that the Supreme Seat demanded. Every action, decision, and intention became calibrated for harmony with universal law and cosmic balance. Ultimately, the preparation ensured that when the Chosen One assumed the supreme cosmic seat, it would be fully recognized, fully functional, and eternally binding. The universe was ready to operate under a singular, divinely sanctioned authority, marking the final stage of the ascent to ultimate divinity. At last, the Chosen One's godhood was finalized. This was an irreversible state, legally, metaphysically, and universally recognized. Authority, wisdom, and responsibility were now permanent, embedded into the structure of reality itself. The Chosen One was no longer a figure to be debated or questioned. They were the living embodiment of divinity. The finalization carried immense emotional weight. Witnesses and devotees alike experienced awe, reverence, and profound joy. The culmination of recognition, validation, and preparation created a collective sense of fulfillment and transcendence. Become irrelevant in the presence of competence and clarity. When a leader or innovator is fully aligned with purpose, recognition naturally precedes the structural adoption of authority. Systems, whether social, organizational, or cosmic, adapt to validated influence before formal acknowledgement occurs. Motivationally, this reminds us that credibility grows through consistent action. Authority is earned, not claimed, and the universe mirrors those who act from authenticity. Informationally, network theory supports this. Recognition flows through connected systems faster than bureaucratic processes. Influence is often felt long before it is formally acknowledged. The lesson? Focus on consistent, aligned impact rather than chasing titles. Recognition will arrive as a natural consequence of demonstrated coherence. Ultimately, institutional and structural change is the reflection of prior alignment. Your actions set the precedent, and the system reorganizes around that truth. Conclusion: the journey of alignment, clarity, and authentic presence demonstrates a universal principle. True influence arises from integrity, purpose, and intentional action. Systems, whether personal, social, or cosmic, respond to coherence. Falsehoods dissolve, opportunities multiply, and energy aligns naturally when intention meets responsibility. What we cultivate within reflects outward, shaping environments, outcomes, and legacy. As you reflect on this, remember that every choice, every moment of clarity, and every act of integrity matters. Growth is not about force, it is about resonance. Align your purpose with your actions, trust the process, and allow your authentic presence to shape the world around you. Your influence begins now, steady, intentional, and lasting.